back to episode 82 of the Hops and Bops podcast. I am Bruiser Tom.
I am Joe.
I'm Mike.
And in this episode, we're going to be doing the album There Is Nothing Left to Lose by the Foo Fighters. And to pair with that, we have a brewery that we're pretty big fans of, Tribus Beer Company with altbiër. It is a toffee. What kind of beer?
It's an amber ale with hints of toffee. It's like a German style lager. Yeah.
All right, I'm excited.
Yes. Yeah. So
Is this our first Tribus beer?
I think so.
I mean, depending on when you pick up the podcast, it could be.
It's your first Tribus.
So here we go.
I even got the Tribus glass too.
Ooh.
Joe hooked me up.
Yes. There you go. Yep, nice amber color. You know, reminiscent of like Blue Point and all that, but this one has a hint of toffee in it, which is pretty cool. So, all right, boys,
Gentlemen.
cheers. Enjoy.
Oh,
Not bad.
Yeah.
definitely not.
I'm not a huge like darker amber, the toffees, the nut style beers,
Yeah.
the brown ales. This is smooth though.
Yeah. Well, last episode. Oh, yeah, the one.
Yeah.
We did the
The slow rush.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is kind of the same realm as
Yeah.
that.
I don't know what it was about that though. It was a little harsher than this.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit lighter.
This isn't a double bock. This is just an amber ale.
That's true. It's only 4.6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like 7 something.
Yep. Definitely a
I
lot
still
lighter.
got 5 of those in my fridge that need to go somewhere.
We'll figure it out.
No, but this, I remember I had this the first time last year around this time, and I loved it. I thought it was, I'm an IPA guy for sure, but this, out of the other beer offerings that they have, this is one of my favorites. Just the flavor is good. Like, I like this style of beer, and it's, seasonal appropriate, and
Oh, is it seasonal?
it is. This is seasonal. This comes out around wintertime.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The
Which
season-
makes sense because the doppelbock.
Yeah,
by
it's
Two
kind of
Roads
a
was season-
warmer thing.
Yeah. But the little toffee hint is
I
is
do
a
get
nice addition.
I do get some toffee in there.
Yes.
Definitely plays into what it advertises.
So according to tribusbeer.co,
Ooh.
a traditional German beer from Dusseldorf.
Oh.
Its darker color comes from hints of crystal and dark malts, giving this beer a nice, nutty, fruity flavor, accompanied by a light body. A traditional German beer.
Showed up on the mic.
A traditional German beer from Dusseldorf, whatever. Its darker color comes from hints. Oh wait, they just copied and pasted the description twice.
Good job, Tribus.
All right, there you go.
Freaking Dusseldorf, ass.
Yeah. So in terms of like non-IPAs, this is one of my like go-tos.
Yeah.
For them. It's not on tap for long, but when it is, I like drinking it.
Yeah, I mean it's got everything that it says it is. It definitely is described very well. I like how it has a good balance to it. I'm not necessarily into the darker ambery-ish beers, but if I was to pick one, I'd go with this one for sure.
Cool, very good. Glad you guys like it so far.
Excuse me.
And we're pairing it with a little alt beer with a little alt rock.
Ooh.
Yes.
Hey-o.
There's Nothing Left to Lose, the third studio album from a band near and dear to my heart, the Foo Fighters. And we figured we'd choose an album by them right now in honor of the late, great drummer, Taylor Hawkins. Still sucks to realize, he's not with us anymore. But so this album is actually his first with the band. He joined the band prior to this album being recorded. But this was the first one he actually appeared on with his drumming. And this album kind of finds the band in a kind of transition phase. They went through a lot of lineup changes before this. They got really big while they were still going through some growing pains and figuring out who they were and who was going to be in the band and who suits them well. So, Color and the Shape, Everlong, My Hero, huge album. Come and Go, a couple different guitarists. Their drummer was fired, essentially. So they're figuring out what to do, and then all of a sudden, Dave Grohl comes across Taylor Hawkins, who was drumming for Alanis Morissette at the time, and just everyone left the band. The bassist Nate Mendel is like the other original member still with the band, and this album ended up being recorded as a trio. It was Dave, it was Nate, and it was Taylor.
Okay.
And it was recorded at this house that Dave bought in Virginia. And they pretty much shacked themselves up in the house and recorded it, much like they did with Wasting Light. They recorded it right at the house. And I think you hear it. And, because this is an interesting time in their history, they focused more on the melodic side of the band, which is another one of their strong suits, I think, and their X factors. They're not just a hard rock band all the time. They do have a lot to offer melodically. And I think this album shows off a lot of that. In no way this is my favorite album, but it does show off a lot about that, or with that, because it's just three guys. So yeah, so that's a little setup.
Yeah, I got to agree. I'm a huge Dave Grohl fan, and I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan. I never was, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the very repetitive of some of their music, or I can't really put my finger on it. But there's something about them that doesn't really grasp my attention all the time. They've got their songs, and I'm going to sing along to 99% of them, but there's just something that doesn't make me like run to go listen to them or buy their new album or listen to their new albums. Needless to say, I'm reading through just their accolades and what they went through. I mean, they've won 15 Grammy Awards. They've won Best Rock Album 5 times. I mean, Dave Grohl is just a fucking genius.
He's the ambassador of rock and roll.
He really is. Seems like a guy I'd want to hang out with.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then reading through just like their original, he wrote the first album, every bit of it. Bass, guitar, you name it, played everything.
That's a great album.
Then he recruited Mendel. Mendel's been there forever. He had Goldschmidt. They were both of this band's Sunny Day Real Estate. Which was like their original band. They brought on Pat Smear, which was one of the touring guitarists for Nirvana prior to Cobain's suicide. And then Smear and Goldsmith were replaced with Franz Stahl and Hawkins, and then
Franz Stahl left.
Stahl ended up leaving, fired, whatever you want to call half of the shit. It's just like a shit show. It was a shitstorm.
Yeah. They're churning out, not churning out, but they're releasing albums as a band normally would. But as they're doing it, they're going through so many growing pains.
It was crazy.
And figuring things out. Like even the first album, Dave Grohl never really anticipated it being an actual band.
Man, it was just
and then it caught on, and he was like, I remember watching a documentary. He was like, oh shit, I need a band because I got to take this out. And
I can't do this.
Yeah. So that's why Wasting Light, which was one of the other albums we did by them, I often see that as finally, this is the debut album they probably wanted. It's a great album from beginning to end. It has the full band membership, but up until then they're kind of in and out. And that was episode 1.
This is a bit of a throwback.
Yeah, episode 1.
So I think you said that exact same thing too.
Yeah,
this is the debut album that they wanted.
Yep. And then this is kind of a debut of hey, here's kind of where we might go. We got our drummer.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. The way it just all kind of laid itself out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. I don't. I feel like Foo Fighters are a fantastic band. I really do enjoy them. They deserve everything they get. Have you met someone that ever considers them to be the best rock band of all time, though? Is it just because...
No, they're not the best rock band
and
of all
I think
time.
a part of that is because the year they came out, I think they're just a little late for the rock, some of the people in the 70s
they're
or 80s.
They're almost kind of post-grunge. In a sense. Their style. And Dave Grohl would have made a great grunge singer.
Yeah.
The way he's just very...
guttural.
Yeah, it's very raspy from the fucking chest. With what he does, he's not a very refined musician in general.
Right. No.
And he admits that. He
plays the guitar like a drum
clear.
kit.
Exactly. He plays the guitar like a drummer. You know, he even says Taylor Hawkins was much more of a technical drummer than he was. I mean, he is by no means a fantastic singer. He's a good singer. He knows what he's doing, but he's not a fantastic singer. I feel like all the pieces, they were meant to be like a late 80s, early 90s band.
Yeah.
And they occurred in the late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
Like they just almost missed the mark by like 10 years.
Yeah.
And now within the last like 15 years or so, like people just consider them the rock band because, you know, they're still present and putting out decent stuff. And, you know, if he even made this joke in that documentary I watched, it's called Back and Forth, like, he's like, are festivals asking us to play because they need a rock band, or it's because they want us as the Foo Fighters? You know?
Yeah.
So like, they're, you know, when you think of rock music now, they're one of the first bands that come to my mind because, you know, of the amount of staying power that they've been able to have in this time where rock really isn't at the forefront.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, they deserve it. They make very, very solid music. And, you know, this album is definitely another notch in their belt.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite by many means, but it's again, it's a solid album.
Yep.
So starts off with Stacked Actors.
Stacked Actors.
That's a great opener.
It is. That's what I've got to put. It's not the greatest song, but it's a good opener.
Yes.
This is a great song live. They play this one live a lot, and the crowd just goes nuts. And it does kind of have that trashy kind of breakdown to, like, it gets the crowd going, like a little mosh pit going. It's not my favorite song. I'm not a huge fan of this song like other people are, but
I thought it opened the album well.
It does.
It definitely set the tone.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of got that like heavy open, and then it kind of chilled out. You kind of got
that like little samba drum.
You almost got all aspects of the Foo Fighters in one song. Like, hey, this is what you're gonna get for the next. I forget how many tracks it is, but this is what you're gonna get.
10 or 11, I think.
Yeah,
11 tracks, 46 minutes.
This is what you're gonna get. Here it is. Boom, go.
That's one of my biggest criticisms of the album too, is that while they do have some songs that like vary up the sound that they have, a lot of it does sound relatively similar.
Yeah.
Which you know, it's a good sound.
It's good and bad.
Yeah.
We just mentioned AC/DC a few minutes ago when we were in between, and same deal.
Yeah.
They have 17, 18 albums that are identical.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what you're gonna get. It's just
right.
whether that's what you want or not.
Yeah.
Right. And going off of that, like, one of my biggest criticisms is the track list on this album. I thought it was very heavy to begin and then very acoustic and melodic to end, and I thought they should have shuffled it around a little more. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good song live.
Not a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent opener.
Yep.
Not the greatest song though.
Yep.
Stack that actors, stack to the raft. I like that hook.
Yeah.
It's a cool one.
Yep. Yeah, I always liked how he pronounced stacked. He always says stacked it.
Stacked it
to fit in the like rhythm of the song. But next up we have Breakout. Another
great one, yeah.
Yeah, another big song for them. Just another good one live.
Yeah, strange part is like I never listened to the song straight through, but I recognize the song when I heard it.
Yeah.
Like I know I've heard it somewhere. I don't know where I've heard it, but I know I've heard this song somewhere.
Couple things. Do you have a singles list for this?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know Learn to Fly was one.
Learn to Fly was the first.
Yep.
Stacked Actors was second.
Okay.
Generator, Breakout, and Next Year.
Oh, wow.
So there were 5.
Yeah.
On
So
an
half the
11-track
album.
Shit.
Yep.
Sleepers are going to be a bit difficult. I think personally, you know, we talk about front-loaded, back-loaded albums. This is definitely a front-loaded album for me.
Yeah.
This was I like
agreed.
this song. I like the way it opened.
Yeah.
I thought it was just different. You know, changed up a little bit.
This song live.
Oh, yeah. This song live is sick.
Because they, like, reformat their songs to involve the crowd and, like, slow it down and then build it back up. This song is just unreal live. Yeah. And this is just quintessential Foo Fighters. It has that nice, fast-paced tempo, good rocker. You can bounce to it. And it just suits them well. It's a good song to have coming out of The Color and the Shape, which was the previous album with My Hero, Everlong, Monkey Wrench. How can I forget not mentioning Monkey Wrench? One of my favorite Foo Fighters songs of all time. Like, this kind of, you know, is the follow-up to that.
Yep.
You know,
that's true,
literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's a great song. I love this song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a good groove to it.
Yep.
High tempo, great singing.
Yeah, memorable. Like
Yeah.
you just
It sticks with you,
catches
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's my thing with the Foo Fighters. All of these songs are very, like, catchy, but some of them are just so repetitive. And I think that's what kills me about the Foo Fighters is, like, they're almost, like, I don't want to say, like, cheap in the fact that, like, they get out easy, like, by repeating a lot. But at the same time, as much as I'm going to the song and I'm like, man, this is repetitive, it's kind of annoying. And I'm just like, but I'm still nodding and singing along to it. Like, there's, like, that fight between, okay, it's kind of boring and repetitive, and goddamn, I'm singing it because it's catchy. Yeah. And that's where I think a lot of my uncertainty with their music just in general, like, I'm not a diehard Foo Fighters guy. Like, I don't know. It's almost, like, confusing to me. If that makes sense.
No, I totally, you know what, you worded that perfectly. I can't say much more on that end.
Yeah.
There's one song later, I forget which one it is, but, like, it ends at, like, 3.5, and then it, like, takes a little bit of, like, a pause, and then just picks back up exactly where it left off.
Next year.
Yeah, I don't know
Which,
why.
again, I was kind of like, this song is good, it's catchy, but it's kind of boring me. And then it did that, and I was like, I don't know if I like that or don't like that. I'm like, I was kind of like, it was kind of cool that it came back, but at the same time, I'm like, but it didn't come back to anything different. It came back to what was happening before. And that's where sometimes I struggle with them. It's like, I feel like their stuff is so repetitive, which gets stuck in your head, but I don't know if it's always a good stuck in your head.
I think this album, and it's one of the knocks, which we'll get to, is its repetitiveness.
Very.
And I think it's just where they were as a band. You know, they found themselves as a trio all of a sudden with a new drummer, and they're just like, all right, it's almost like a fresh start for them. They're like starting over. So, you know, you're kind of bound to hear some similar elements in their songs. But next one.
Yeah, this is the classic.
This is just, you can't.
This is the album with Learn to Fly on it.
Yes. Well said. Yes.
That's what I knew it for.
I don't want to pick this as my favorite song because, like, it's just, I don't know.
How can you not?
I know.
It's just a perfect song for them. Like, this is, if you mention Foo Fighters, this has to be mentioned in your top 5.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of,
3.
Yeah. So, like, Learn to Fly, Monkey Wrench, All My Life, Times Like These, Everlong. Like, I think those are my 5. Those are 5.
That's controversial.
It is. And then you got all these other songs that are out there. Like, my favorite album by them, Wasting Light. Like, none of those songs got any of the play that these have. But I just think that's their best record, their best album front to back. Mm-hmm. Like, These Days came off of that. Walk came off of that. Those are in their set list permanently now. But this song, Learn to Fly, it's
a great song.
It's just a classic
rocker. I was bummed we didn't play it, but it made sense.
It made sense.
Play it earlier.
Maybe Tribus might be a better...
Play it earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, do a little earlier.
Yeah. This song is just so wide open, and, like, this is a good driving song.
Yeah.
Definitely just very freeing.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what nobody tries to overpower in this song.
Right.
You know, Dave Grohl with his voice can overpower sometimes with that kind of grungy growlness. And he doesn't do that here. The drums aren't super in your face. The guitar is pretty basic.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a very comfortable song.
Sure.
Good word. That's a good word for it. Comfortable.
It is. And
because it has the rocky chorus in the intro.
Yeah.
And then it has the nice melodic verses where he's singing and the drums aren't overpowering. It's just a great balance.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, maybe that's... I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but I feel like a lot of their music is just, like, feel-good rock music.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is fine. I mean, but they don't have, like... They don't have many tracks in, like, a minor key at all. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's all kind of meant to make you feel good, which is, you know, on its head,
like,
it's fine. But,
like, do you mean, I don't know keys and shit. Like, do you mean, like, stadium, like, arena, like...
A little bit, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Minor's going to make it a little more sad, a little more depressing.
Yeah,
and that's not to say, you need a ballad or whatever.
But,
but...
You know, I feel like they could be a bit deeper emotionally.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
But, again, this song, though.
It's just a great song.
Yeah. And great music video, too. You know, they're on the plane. And Tenacious D is on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen the music video.
Yeah.
I'm not a big music video guy, but I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of videos, you remember the when they got all the musicians to play this song?
Sorry.
Yes.
That's not music.
What?
I thought that was my cue.
Oh, he's learning.
Got outed. The like 1,000 Italian.
Yeah. It was like a thing to get Foo Fighters to play in their town or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And they all performed the song simultaneously.
Yeah, like 300 drummers, like a shit ton of guitarists and bassists.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So many, like a lot of people singing it. It was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Not just in Foo Fighters, but just as a collective to do that.
Right.
For any song.
But music
but to pick that song too, it's like it's perfect for that kind of moment. So
yeah.
it was cool to see that.
It's just an easy song to sing along to. You know, some of the other songs they've put out and even on this record are, kind of niche, but this one I think just has a really wide appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while still staying true to who they are and what they do and not like selling out. But yeah. So like the first 3 tracks you got Stacked Actors, Breakout, and Learn to Fly. Like
it's a great opening.
Right. Rock, rock, rock. And it continues with the next song, Give Me Stitches.
Yeah, this one's okay.
It's hard to follow Learning to Fly too.
Yeah.
Learn
to Fly, by the way, third track, first single.
Well, this was also 97. This was back when that mattered.
Right. It's just funny how that's where it is.
It's 99, I believe. That's what it says on Spotify. I could be wrong.
I thought it was 97.
No, 97
was Calling the
Okay,
Shade.
my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
95 was
You're right, 99.
their debut. Anyway, this song is decent. It's
a filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
It's a filler.
But again, hard to follow Learn to Fly. But
yeah,
again, it doesn't really do itself too many favors.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah. Really. It does what it needs to do.
Very, very true.
Yep. The next song, though.
Generator.
I love Generator. This is a great song. It's like fast.
Good song.
Energetic.
I thought it had like a cool effect. Like they were.
Yeah,
this was the song where they wanted to try something different.
Yeah.
So they got in the
little
voice box.
The Peter Frampton.
Like, that's exactly. I mean, you can't do that without thinking Peter Frampton or honestly Bon Jovi. Like those are your two.
True.
It's going to be one or the other that pop in your head, and it's a good song. I think again though, it was just they were trying something different. They were like, hey, let's give this a shot. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a voice box. Let me, you get a new toy and you want to try it.
Right.
That's what it came out with.
I was actually disappointed to see that this was a single because this was in my mind as a sleeper track.
Yeah, it was a third. It was actually it was before Breakout, which was surprising.
Yeah, because not a lot of people think of this song when you think of the Foo Fighters. So, but I love this song. It's a great song live. It's it's another good mix of like that energetic feel good rock with the melodic verses.
Yeah, I had never heard this song prior to doing this listen through. So, like I said, never being a major Foo Fighters person, like. I knew all their major singles. I knew all that kind of stuff. A B-side here or there, but this being a single would have never stuck out to me.
Yeah. By the way, nice hat. Where'd you get that?
Oh well, that ruins our.
We'll get this next
the
episode.
Story arc.
This next
2 episodes.
2 episodes later.
That's right. That's right. It's not like we're on contract with CBS.
It's a timeline.
Yeah, it's a timeline.
This is going to come out closer to the Masters.
Yeah.
We didn't sign an NDA or anything.
This part of the album was really cool for me because I love this song, and me personally, I love the next song, Aurora.
Yes. This song I actually really, really like.
Yes, it's a beautiful song. It's not a rocker at all.
Exactly.
It's melodic. It's acoustic. It's
long,
chill.
too.
It is long, but you almost don't feel it. It doesn't overstay
Agreed.
its welcome for me, anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. Actually, if you don't mind,
I do, but it's fine.
No, go. Oh, do you have the vinyl?
Ooh.
So I have almost every Foo Fighter vinyl.
Okay.
So there's this acoustic record called Skin and Bones. And they, on their In Your Honor tour, that was a double album. The first record was all electric. The second disc was all acoustic. Mm-hmm. So they did their like arena rock tour leg, and then they did a second leg, which was all playing like theaters, and they did all acoustic renditions of their songs. And I think, was this on it? This was not on it.
Oh,
okay.
What a letdown.
But it's just...
No, it's fine. Get over it.
It's not. It's not. But another one is, which we'll get to. This is cool. It shows a side of Dave that you don't often see. So you should definitely check that out, Skin and Bones. Anyway, this is a... It's just
great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yep.
Yeah, they change it up a little bit sound-wise. Slow it down and don't make it too heavy with everything, and lighten it up. Yeah,
he does have a very good voice.
Yes,
he really does. For being, as he claims, like you're not as trained or as refined of a singer as he is. And I'm not saying that his like screaming side isn't good, because it is. He does well with that. When he sings, he does well too. And I don't know. I don't know what it was. This song stuck with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is one of the standouts on the album for me.
Was it a single or no?
No. It was not.
I'm making my list as I go.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying.
But and then Live in Skin. This is kind of where the album, in my opinion, started to get very repetitive to finish out.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
It kind of... This is where you heard the verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus, end. Yep. Verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus, end. And it's not that you didn't hear it in the beginning, but the beginning was enough to just like, yes, let's go. And now you're just kind of like hearing the same song a little bit on repeat.
Yeah, and then the next year is verse, chorus, end.
I got And I gotta give next year, at least it had a little different vibe to it.
Yeah.
But
Live in Skin, I really don't have much to say.
No, not me either.
Yeah, I will say that this point in the album, like you said, even the rockier ones are melodic. So from Aurora on, it's just all melodic and kind of low key and not really like in your face, bombastic, energetic rock. And I thought that was a slight for the album for me. It's just the track listing, and they should have shuffled it up a little bit more. I don't know if Stacked Actors, Breakout, Learn to Fly should have been all together. I feel like you could have shuffled them around a little more.
It was a great opening if the album continued with that end.
Yeah.
It did.
Right. It had a couple more ballads than I think it needed to. Not ballads, but like the acoustic-y styled songs. So this is just, it's good. It's all right. It fits the rest of it. Next year.
Next year was like I said, it was a very repetitive, catchy song.
Right.
It wasn't. I mean, I found myself singing to it like right away.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it. And I found myself singing, and I'm like, all right, I'm singing to the song. Like, it's got a good melody, like all of that. But I also could sing to it because it just repeated itself.
Right.
Like, this was one of those songs that I liked that I didn't want to like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what this song was.
It was poppy. Like the chords they chose, or whatever you call it, it definitely leaned more into the pop. I will say, this is the song that's on.
What song is that? That sounds like another song when you sing it like that.
But it's
gonna piss me off.
Like if we had a sleeper B, this would be my like sleeper B. Like,
sleeper B.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to pick it because it was a single anyway. But I don't know. It was super super catchy, and I didn't want to like it. Yeah. But I did. It was just one of those things.
Did its job. This is one of the better songs.
You said that Christmas card fall off the ceiling.
I mean, it is fucking April.
Yeah, I know. They're nice to look at.
I'm waiting for the tree to still be up.
No tree went up this year.
I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, right. This is one of the standout performances on the Skin and Bones record. Is next year.
Okay.
Really? Definitely check out this version of it. I think I almost like this more than the album version.
Gotcha. Okay.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Headwires almost sounds like an 80s.
Sound like Police to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like an 80s just pop song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of like phase altering kind of.
Yep.
This one kind of almost had the same key, notes, chords, I don't know, as Living Skin. And almost like the same like vocal tendencies. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact terms to say, but
I went back when I was...
like especially as you get into the chorus.
Living Skin opens like an AC/DC song.
Yeah.
And then it's almost the same rhythm.
Right.
That
right.
The other one's just more chord driven. This is more like almost
exactly
driven. Yeah.
So you start to see right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in necessarily the same key, but or no, like
there's something. There was something.
It's the same rhythm of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's something.
I got nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These last three really like. It was kind of disappointing to see like Mike said, it kind of just kind of
It nosedived after Aurora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like next year was okay.
Like next year was okay, but if you had slipped that before Aurora, this could have been like a 7-song album.
Yeah.
And it probably would have been a little bit higher rated.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And then Ain't It the Life. I'm not a big fan of this one.
Really is like a dud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my big problem is
skip.
From,
this sounds like one of their songs off of their debut.
Yeah.
What's the song? It's like, well, I talk about
Big
it.
Me.
Yes. It sounds like a little bit like that.
Yep.
But not as
that was good.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Be so brand new. Yeah.
But I knew I fell into.
See, we're singing another album.
It's,
not even paying attention to this song.
Yeah.
But it's like that same vibe,
Yeah.
So.
But
I'm just gonna
again,
throw out there, I saw you swiping, and I have Amazon, you have Spotify, so I just swiped and it worked. I've never done that.
Through?
You've never swiped?
I've never swiped.
Yep.
Oh,
but it
there
works,
you go.
I know now.
Boom. But again, the back half, even more so, is just very ballady, very melodic, which they do very well with, but I would have liked a little more shuffle.
So you got Taylor Hawkins, this fucking big presence drummer.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Hawkins reminds me of Shannon Larkin.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the area of you don't hear his name a ton,
Right.
but he's a phenomenal drummer. Like I always have said that Shannon Larkin of Godsmack is one of the most underrated rock drummers out there. Like if you've seen him live, he puts on a fucking show. He is so good. And Godsmack doesn't make the greatest music. And I know that. And I've seen them 5-6 times. They're great live, but they don't make the greatest music. And I know. But he's a phenomenal drummer.
Right.
And I feel like I've always felt the same way about Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan. They don't blow me out of the water, but he is just a phenomenal drummer. Mm-hmm. And I feel like for his first album, this really didn't showcase anything he had.
I think because they found themselves now writing with him, and he didn't really know his place.
Exactly.
You're now the drummer in the band with the guy that was the drummer on Smells Like Teen Spirit.
And I get that.
So I think it took him a while to find his place in the band and everything. And so I get why this album kind of came out the way it did. But you're totally right, and it honestly is a shame that, only now Taylor Hawkins is kind of mentioned as much as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he fucking died.
Yeah, and we've talked about a ton. We were supposed to go see them a few months
September.
ago. We couldn't pull it off. They sold out. But
I had them on my screen. I was like, they're not going to want to pay $100 a ticket.
Yeah, we would have bit the bullet. Yeah. This song, I gotta say, it wasn't a great ender. It was kind of a dud of a song.
MIA.
But it was catchy.
I liked it.
It was catchy.
Yeah.
The chorus was
at this point,
a decent hook.
Yeah. I mean, but
it's like
at this point, I was already done.
Right, 4 tracks in a row.
Yeah.
Arguably that.
Yeah, I was already done.
Has this kind of atmosphere to it.
Totally, man. We gotta be the track list police next time someone puts out an album.
We gotta get a job doing that.
Sure, we could figure something out. I'll call up some record labels.
Amazon Music.
I'm not in that division. I'm live. I'm not music. Although I could try.
Although I got a package that's been delayed for like 2 weeks. Can you help me?
Well, I mean, Joe's on your thing. I don't know if I can. I can't. I can't. It's a joint account. I don't know if I can.
Well done.
Can I get a discount?
Maybe. I don't know yet.
Can I get a discount?
No, you definitely can't.
No, if I get a discount, you get one.
I maybe can get you free Prime. That's the best I can do.
Free Prime?
Yeah, maybe.
I'd take free Prime.
All right, let's go.
I got a job, by the way.
So,
in total.
tracks.
Yeah.
Let's go to it.
If I had to pick one,
Top, what do you got?
I feel like we're going to be aligned here.
it's got to be Learn to Fly, right?
Yeah.
Like the only other one that I could put near that is Breakout because it was good.
That's my argument.
But like, it's not better than Learn to Fly.
1 and 1A.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Least favorite, like
Bottom.
I don't know. It's because like, are they bad tracks? Like
I
not
think I go to
necessarily.
That's mine. Ain't the Life.
Didn't have anything.
I don't need to
Didn't really
hear
have
it.
anything.
I don't need to listen to it.
Yeah.
At least songs like, Next Year, Headwires, even MIA. MIA was catchy chorus. Headwires had a good little groove to it with that kind of 80s pop to it. Next Year had a good chorus. Living Skin was a little heavier.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't It the Life was just...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing there.
That's also mine. So.
Like the 6-way.
There you go. And then Sleepy.
Oh, we might go 3 for 3.
Aurora.
If we're going non-singles, then Aurora.
Aurora's mine. Absolutely.
First ever?
I think so.
First ever
Like
Hops and Bops
333.
The Hops and Bops Suite.
Ooh, that was a beautiful clink. I want to see the waveform on that. Ooh, that was nice. Very nice.
That's TikTok worthy, Thomas.
Hey,
Can we call this album The Sweep, this episode?
The Sweep. Yeah.
If we all rate it the same.
Alt sweep.
That's what we
I don't know.
I don't think we're going to rate it the same.
No,
that
I
might
don't
be the
think so
one
either.
difference.
I will say I do want to give a shout out to Generator. I do like that song. I would have picked that as a double sleeper if it wasn't a single. But
I would have done that.
A double sleeper, have you?
I think I have, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you give it out with 10, you're like, I'll name a bunch of songs that I like. So like, you're kind of naming like 7.
God damn it.
Yeah. I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
I will say I like Stacked Actors too. If that wasn't a single, that was my Generator.
I think that song did well because of where it was.
Yeah.
If it wasn't first, it would have been kind of But it opened well.
But when you get to 8, 9, 10, 11, where they're all that kind of low key, could have had something to jolt it with in the latter half.
Agreed.
All right,
let's rate
it.
Your album.
My album. I am gonna give this. I'm gonna give it a 6. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Sure. I usually guys seem shocked. Is it
I thought you were gonna give it higher.
No, this is not one of my favorite. It has great songs on it, but as an album, it's not the most well versed. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very top heavy in terms of like hard rock. I thought the balance was a little off scale. And again, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt because of where they were as a band. So,
yes,
I like it, but a lot of the later tracks I don't often go to as a Foo Fighter listener. There's plenty of other albums that I prefer. I like, obviously, Wasting Light is my favorite all time. I like, Color and the Shape. Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace is another great one by them. But this is good. It's a good rock album, but it's not stand out for them. So I'm giving it a 6.
Shocked so far. I'm with you. 6.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we might have a sweep. I'm just a little over half of the album.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I looked at it. A little over half of the album I liked.
Right.
And so it wasn't quite, 5.5 out of 11. It was probably 7 out of 11 was solid. Mm-hmm. So to me, that was about a 6. I was hovering between like a 6 and a 7 because it was, as you stated early on, an easy listen. Mm-hmm. Even though the songs aren't great, they're still just like a smooth listen to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it just didn't. If I'm not huge on Foo Fighters, this is not the album you're going to get me on.
Exactly.
No,
so
this is not
I was kind of back to where I began with
Right.
They have some repetitive, kind of boring songs.
Right.
I like but don't like. So
if it's a new listener, like, hey, you talk about Foo Fighters a lot. What should I listen to? I'm not handing this album over.
And even the idea,
but I will hand it over as like, all right, now you've heard this.
Yeah.
Check this album out because they're also really good at the acoustic melodics.
Yeah. And even the idea of like, hey, Taylor Hawkins finally joined the band.
Yeah.
Here you go. And I'm kind of like,
this is his first record with
Taylor who? Like, and I hate to say that this time, but it was like, you know, Dave Grohl could have drummed this album. I wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
If that's what he put out.
Right.
So,
yep. Fair.
You know, I could give this anywhere between like a 5 and a 7. I feel like if I gave it too high, maybe I think that just kind of their reputation kind of living it up. But I had a 6 in my head. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Sweeper.
The sweep all around.
Sweeper, baby.
Wow. That was bad. Yes. Yes.
First
I'm
ever
Smith.
hops and bops.
Wow.
Sweep.
We still have the beer left though.
It was good, but like it's not anywhere near their debut or Color in the Shape or Wasting Light or even some of their other stuff. Great singles. I thought it was a little bit front loaded in its track list, and yeah, but I mean, you know, does it live up to some of the other albums that came out in '99, like Californication or
great point.
Like Limp Bizkit came out then, like
Which?
What else came out in '99? I had a list of stuff that I was looking at.
He's playing with I know it sounds really weird, but Wes Borland, the guitarist for Limp Bizkit, right now is touring with Danny Elfman.
The guy did the Simpsons.
Well, he just put out his an album.
Yeah,
and this chick 𝗔𝗹𝗁𝗏, I don't know if you ever heard of her. She's a fucking nasty, like Lebanese. She's like guitarist or whatever, 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗁𝗏 kind of girl. But anyway, she's nasty guitarist, and she's also on the album. So her and Wes Borland are like the touring guitarists for Danny Elfman right now.
That's a weird combo.
Interesting.
Yeah, he just put out an album with them, which the more you know.
Cool.
Yeah, let's hop on this beer though. This altbiër.
Altbiër by Tribus.
Give one more sip.
This is kind of like a dark horse beer for them. I'm looking at the glass like it's full. This is a dark horse beer for them. They do IPAs extremely well, and they do sours very well. Mm-hmm. This is kind of like a one-off for them. They don't really have other beers like this in their rotation, and it's seasonal, so like you're not going to find it often. But it is one of my favorites. I'm going to give this a 7.5 hops.
Okay.
Okay.
When it's out, I like it. I go to it, which is why I wanted to bring it here. So 7.5 for me.
I'm going to 7. I'm not a huge fan of this style of beer. I wouldn't really run to it. Most of them are a little bit too nutty, I guess you could say, or like that type of flavor. And this one didn't overpower with that.
Right.
It's a little bit smoother.
Right.
So I definitely found that I could drink this a little bit easier. You know, I had my glass full. I'd have a few more sips of it. Am I going to have more than 1 or 2? Definitely not. But it was smooth enough to say, like, you know, I could have this beer and go and grab it just to change it up. So I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm lockstep with Mike. Yeah, I'd probably give it about a 7. Couldn't get the sweet. You
Didn't
did.
get the
That
whole
half.
episode
We had
sweet.
the full.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail right on the head. You know, I'm not a big fan of like the darker style beers, but they did this one very well. I like the balance. It's not too heavy on those darker flavors, but it still has that kind of toffiness. I think that adds a nice little extra X factor to it. But I wouldn't imagine taking like a whole 6-pack of these and finishing them. But I mean, that's similar to the last beer.
In my opinion, like the Accelerator, that was too aggressive for that style of beer.
Yes, this is the better version of that.
This is a better version of that. 100%.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go. Cool.
Let's do some shout-outs.
Shout-outs?
A little bit.
All right, a little bit. The beer provided by Tribus Beer Co. in Milford.
They seem like nice people.
Yeah, they do.
We should try to talk to them.
We should.
I've never met them. So.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see.
I'll talk to my guys.
Tribus Beer Co. on Instagram and tribusbeer.co online. And then Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Just gonna
Foo
say that.
Fighters.
Yep. Foo Fighters on Instagram. FooFighters.com. Of course, I mean, as a big fan of the band, I don't know what is going to happen with them because Dave went through this with Kurt Cobain and Nirvana fell apart and he got shit for starting a new band. I don't know what's going to come of it, and it drives me insane every other day because I love them and I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm enjoying them while I can. Yeah. So, but Foo Fighters, check them out. I mean, every album has something different to offer. So there you go. Yeah. Next episode
83.
83. Yes. It's kind of like a group kind of
a little bit,
consensus.
Yeah, we all kind of chose this one.
Yep.
Gonna be doing was it Unlimited Love?
Unlimited Love.
The new 𝗟𝗲𝗁𝗁𝗃𝗃 album.
Yep. Came out early April.
That's right. It just came out. So we're gonna be reviewing that one, and to be pairing that, we have the was it Artisanal
Brewworks.
Brewworks. Yes, they have a sour line out for they did a partnership with like Warheads.
Yes.
So we're doing like a Warhead sour beer. I'm very excited.
Yeah, there's like 4 flavors.
I loved Warheads as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm a big sour guy.
Yes.
But not even like sour. Like it took me a while for sour beers. But when I was a kid, Sour Patch Kids, sour gummy worms, Warheads, and it shows in my kids. Like both of them will grab fucking sour. Like their go-to candies are sour gummy worms, Sour Patch Kids. You know, even since they were like a year old, year and a half, they just fucking love them.
They're eating gummy worms as a 1-year-old. Wow.
Oh, yeah. John eats them. He loves them.
Yeah?
Oh,
Did you chew on it?
Yeah, he's fine.
You won't choke?
All
right.
Hasn't yet.
Good deal.
On that note.
But yeah, these beers are really popular. I think they just widened their distribution because I've been seeing them at a couple bars
Agreed.
lately.
Yeah, I have two.
Yeah.
So we got one.
So,
we're going to black cherry, blue raspberry, lemon, and green apple.
Yeah.
That's right. We got 4 different beers. We're going to try them all.
Yep.
It'd be a cool
Sounds
picture.
Good. Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm looking at one now. It actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah. And the colors actually match the colors on the Chili Pepper album, so it actually works out. So
we did on purpose.
Yeah, it's like we know what we're doing.
Yep.
Anyway, Hops and Bops podcast. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Check us out on all the socials. Give us a follow. Interact with us. DM us. Let us know if you want something specific, and we'll do it. Stream us.
I wish we had more of that.
Yeah, I know.
I would. And no, just try something new. I wish we had more of that. So let's go. Up it. Stream us and watch us wherever you get your podcasts. Really exciting. We've been able to get our podcasts on other platforms. So we're pretty wide right now. So check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Woo! And for Tom and Mike, I've been Joe. We'll see you next time. Peace.